Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope we're all doing well. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to become more masculine. So I'm sure a lot of you have probably struggled with this a lot throughout your life. We've been socially conditioned to be way more feminine throughout the educational system. You've probably, if you're like me, you've probably had a lot of feminine energy around it, surrounded by yourself. You've probably been brought up with like a single mother. You've kind of lacked a father figure, lacked masculine role models throughout your life. And this has led to a lot of like young men becoming very feminine and not in touch with who they truly are, their masculine core. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of here to help you with this video. I'm sure I'll get a lot of people saying like, "Oh, you're not even masculine anyway. Like you don't know what you're on about." But I'd say I've got a fair understanding of masculine energy. I've done quite a lot of research and stuff on it, and I feel like I've seen both sides of it being very feminine at one point, and now to a point where I feel like I am fairly masculine. Obviously, I'm nowhere near the levels I kind of want to be, but compared to like the average people my age, I'd say I'm quite masculine. So yeah, this is kind of what my advice has been through the kind of lessons I've kind of like learned and developing myself over the last like year or two, I'd say. Um, like I say, like it is a lot easier for you could listen to advice from people who have been like masculine all their life, and they'll say, "I'll do this," and then you'll probably just really struggle to do it because you've kind of you're not in the same position as them. They've probably had like a really good father figure. They've had brothers surrounded by them. It's a lot easier for them to do it, and the stuff they say won't come naturally to you anymore because you've like so more feminine than we should be. So this is why like you don't have to listen to me at all, but I know what it's like to be feminine, and how to kind of like gradually go to a more masculine man, which we obviously all should be as men. Um, so yeah, obviously you can listen to those guys, but I feel like someone who's kind of like seen both sides of it, someone like me or like Hamza, he was very feminine too, and now you could definitely say he's a very masculine man. But we've kind of had to like learn the hard way because we haven't had those masculine figures surrounded by us like some other like young men have. But yeah, so anyway, we'll get on to like the main things that I want you to focus on. And I think the first thing with anything is always your self image. Like how do you see yourself? How do you kind of really perceive yourself? Because for me, I think I always did like perceive myself as that like weak feminine little boy. Um and people would like take advantage of me. I was never like really bullied or anything, but like people know they could just like say shit to me and I wouldn't say anything back because I was too scared at the end of the day. Yeah, I'll admit that. But now no one really like says shit to me because like I won't take shit really from anyone. But yeah, I kind of like saw myself as quite weak, but then I started like doing the stuff that would make me more masculine. Like I think the main thing for me, as it's been, as I mentioned, so many of my videos, was like going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. Like you just feel you're gonna like see yourself as a lot more masculine. You're gonna like your appearance like is massive in kind of like how other people see you as well. And if you like kind of like just look quite feminine, you're gonna feel quite feminine. So yeah, like doing stuff that you kind of like, yeah, I think that was like the main thing for me. It was just like hitting the gym and stuff and like doing stuff that more like masculine men did. But then like this isn't enough for me. The next thing that I think is really important that changed the game for me was reading the book The Way as a Superior Man by David Dida. A book I've mentioned quite a lot on this channel. I've got a few videos on mission and purpose, which is kind of like the man's priority. It takes over everything through like it's your number one priority as a man. Whereas for a woman, it's all about love and nurture. For a man, it's like mission and purpose. And for me, I like realize I've done like a lot of self reflection and like had some introspective moments where I'm just like it was always like love for me that just dominated my thoughts and my focus so much. I would just be like thinking about like a girl and stuff and like just like cringy stuff like hugging a pillow and pretending it's them. I think we've all done this, but like a lot of people just won't admit it because they think it's cringe and they don't want other people to know. But I much prefer to be authentic and just tell you how it is. And yeah, I think it's a lot easier to learn that way of people just be honest. But yeah, I definitely think, and even somewhat now, I'm nowhere near a master of this. Like I feel like my strong like mission and purpose is to grow this channel, help a lot of people with the things that I struggled with when I was younger, and kind of teach them my lessons, and kind of like pass on this message. I think it's still needed more than ever in our society, and this has really like come to the how do you say that word, forefront of my mind over the last like 6 months or so. I think before this I never really had like a main like kind of focus, so it would just naturally be like women and stuff, because like I think, I can't remember, it's like on a hierarchy system, the like one of the crucial needs is like love and intimacy, sex. Obviously once you have all of the basic ones like food, shelter, etc., water, then that was a kind of the only one that was like unmet for me. So that was naturally the one like I focused on, and I just didn't have any like big calling. I didn't have like something that I really focused on. I was like at uni and I was doing stuff that I wasn't really that bothered about. I just didn't really have anything major. So I think like discovering that for me was crucial to kind of like becoming more masculine, because it's something like I really care about, and like I really want to develop and really want to like help other people too. Without this, it's really hard, and I think that is like kind of a next point, is kind of discovering like your mission and purpose. But I definitely recommend finding more out about mission and purpose. To go check out a couple of my videos on that, and definitely I would recommend getting the book The Way of the Superior Man. So what else can you do? I think finding yourself kind of like masculine role models, I can't get my words out today, is very important. People like the Tates, like people don't like them and stuff, that's fair enough, but you can tell like anyone can admit they're masculine men at the end of the day. And there's a lot of, I think any young man will happily admit that they are inspirational in like embracing masculinity. Other people like Hamza and First Man, who I watch heavily, have helped me so much along my way, because like I said, I've not had that masculine like presence at all. Like nearly all my closest surroundings throughout my life have been women, and that's been, I've like loved like all the women in my life have been great, and I really respect the values and morals that they've brought to my life, and I wouldn't be the person that I am. I love the person I have become, and I wouldn't be this without them. However, it is important to have masculine men in your life, and for me, I just haven't had that, so I had to look elsewhere to source this, and that has come in the form from like people like Tate, Hamza and First Man. But I've only kind of had this over the last year or so that's kind of only been recently when I've really started to like look into masculinity, and then kind of like have some reflection on like where I am in my life and my journey, and I really realised that I've been feminine all my life, really, definitely way more feminine than I should be. And I feel like being true to my masculine core, I do feel like I do have a deep like masculine core, and I just haven't been true to that, and that's when I'm feeling best, when I'm like striving towards like goals and like ticking stuff off. Like it's like my missions, it just means a lot more to me when they're actually like important to me. And since I've discovered that, it's like really helped me a lot. So as I mentioned a bit, I mentioned appearance, which is obviously vital. For me, I even like a year ago, I had like highlights. I've only really just stopped like having them. And I never really thought too much into this, but I'm like, it does make me look quite feminine, so I stopped having that. I wanted to look more masculine, so I stopped having that. And obviously before, I was physically quite weak, just like skinny neck, skinny arms, everything was skinny. I've always kind of struggled to kind of like gain weight. But yeah, really like updating my appearance, like trying to grow a beard. Like I'm on my way to doing that now. Definitely not all the way there, but it's come a long way. And considering like the pictures, like you'll see the thumbnail to this video, yeah, the change in me in the last like year, 2 years has been pretty remarkable and pretty unrecognisable, I like to think. But yeah, there's definitely a long way for me to go. And the final thing I want to give you is do masculine things, really. Do hard things, like just do shit that like other people don't want to do. Like you see like a lot of women who like maybe they're like dating someone who like does a trade, and they're like so attractive, and when they like see them in their work clothes, because they know they've been like getting their hands dirty, they've been like on building sites and stuff. Like that's naturally attractive to a feminine woman. And then yeah, I think like doing the hard things, like, it just makes you feel like more masculine, and you feel a lot more proud about yourself, whatever it may be, like challenges, just taking a few more risks, competition, embracing all of that type of thing. I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, that's toxic, just focus on yourself. Nah, don't do that. I've done that. Do that, and don't be too nice either, because that gets you nowhere, honestly. You hear a lot of advice from people who are either very feminine, who I definitely wouldn't listen to, which is the vast majority of men, or very masculine men who have naturally had it a lot easier than a lot of us. So don't listen to them either. Like I said, I'm no expert in masculinity, and a lot of people probably say you don't know, you're not masculine or whatever. I don't give a fuck, to be honest, what those guys think. But yeah, this is coming from someone who was a very feminine boy, and has only kind of developed this masculine side of myself and embraced it over the last year or so. So I feel like I've got a lot to offer you if you've kind of been really struggling to embrace this throughout your life, because you've not had that presence of father figures and masculine role models. Like, who even is a masculine role model these days? They say like Harry Styles, yet he's like painting his nails and he bringing that LGBT flag everywhere he goes. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's not at all, is he? Let's be honest. Anyway, enough of that. I'm developing a like full masculinity guide, which I'm going to get out, because I think that's really important, and I think it would help a lot of people. So if you're interested in that, keep a look, check out my Instagrams, and I'll post it in videos in the future. If you want to work with me, I'll leave a link to that below. If you could like, share, subscribe, it would mean so much to me. I hope this video really helped you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.